What's up, y'all? Um, what you should probably know by now, if you're, if obviously if you clicked on the video, you saw the title. Basically, I want to inspire you guys because I learned this in prison. All right, during the time I was incarcerated in a federal prison. All right, so I learned this in Jessup, Georgia, which is a federal FCI. All right. And when I got on the compound, there was a whole community. All right. That's something that a lot of you guys who, are not familiar with the prison system, even if you're not, familiar with the federal prison system, maybe you've been to the state. If if you was a prior inmate, you still may be unaware of what's really going on. So let me kind of give you an idea of what's really going on. In every federal prison that I've been to, or every federal prison that I've even heard about, everyone is trading. There's traders on every single compound. So when I arrived at Jessup, there was a whole community of people trading stocks. They had an actual teacher who was teaching about stocks, and he was actually an inmate. All right. In the federal facilities, inmates teach. All right. I actually became a teacher, and this is what I'm gonna get to a little later in this particular video. But in the initial beginning, I was very apprehensive about learning how to trade, as some of you are today. All right. Because my thing was, when I attended the class, there was a lot of math involved, and I was very intimidated by the teacher, because he was saying stuff that I had never heard about. But, so what actually happened is I became discouraged and I never attended that class anymore. But later on, one of my fellow brothers, Corey, who I knew, who was from my city of Savannah, came on the compound, with information about how to trade currency. Now, keep in mind that there was a stock class, but there was no class about currency and forex trading, because at that time I had never heard of it. You know what I mean? I didn't even know anything about stocks. I thought you just buy a share of a company and that's that. I never knew the real process that comes with buying stocks. I never knew about technical analysis. I never knew about fundamental analysis. I never knew anything. So for my homeboy to come on the compound with this very new information, it's kind of like antennas started, sticking up inside of my head. And then he had a spreadsheet showing how one can possibly, keyword, possibly make $500,000 to $1 million in a year, investing as little as $1,000. All right, possibly, I said. All right, because when he told me this information, it clicked in. All right, and you could do this all from a phone. You know what I'm saying? Just the probability, just the fact that there was a possibility that I could achieve that amount of success was all I needed to become fully thrust in this industry. All right, because I actually saw the potential. This wasn't no potential $100,000 a year. You know what I mean? This wasn't no potentially $200,000 a year going to work for somebody else type of pitch. He was pitching us on possibly being able to become millionaires with under $5,000. All right, that's what inspired me to get into trading. Just the possibility of it being likely. You know what I'm saying? So I became interested. Me and him met up. Shout out my bro Corey, because he's going to be joining me in teaching you guys a lot of this stuff that I'm teaching you, because this guy is my mentor. You know what I'm saying? My big brother. You know what I mean? So I'm going to have my brother join me in showing you guys what's going on, showing you guys how we learned this stuff in the federal facility, and now we're able to teach it because we've been doing this and we've devoted such a long amount of time of our lives to this. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this over 12 years, and he's been doing it longer than me. You know what I mean? He's been doing it at least 15 years. This is something I know, all right? So, back to the story. So, make a long story short, you know, I end up going to that stock class, all right? And I end up learning about the forex, all right? But, you know, during that time, we didn't have access to any computers or anything, so we would have to calculate everything manually, you know what I mean, on the calculator. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had to draw charts manually, you know what I mean? And I'm going to show you guys some of my charts because I still got them, you know what I mean? We had to do all that manually. We had to get our family members to send numbers in every day. We had to fight with dudes over to watching the CNN or the stock channel. You know what I'm saying? CNBC. We had to fight dudes over that. Like, man, look, this stock stuff, this is more important than love and hip hop right now. You know what I mean? This is more important than sports right now. You know what I'm saying? This gonna get us out of here. This gonna get us off the plantation forever. All right, once we get out of here. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys, and this is something that I felt to mention in the beginning too, a lot of guys was trading already with real money. I knew a dude, a guy, he was this white guy, shout out Steve, he had a life sentence, my brother. You know what I mean? He was trading with 20,000. All right, when we went there, when Facebook initial IPO first came out, he bought shares, all right? I remember it. It was like $35 a share when Facebook initial IPO, initial public offering came about. This man had 20 grand, all right? You know what I mean? And I don't know how many shares he bought, but I know it was damn near 20 grand worth, all right? So my whole point is, you have traders on these federal compounds who actually making money right now with this stuff. People who in prison, all right? So what other industry allow you to do that? People in prison making money doing this, all right? This ain't nothing I'm telling you. This ain't no wishful thinking. I'm telling you, I was on the compound. I'm telling you, when I was on the compound, I was trading myself. I used to have a job. I worked at Unicorn. I was getting paid $100 a month. I had a options account, you know what I mean, that I started with $500, all right? So I was trading, actually making money, you know what I mean, when I was in there, you know what I'm saying? Now, there was a whole long, lengthy process in the process, and I won't get into that. But I will say, I'm just saying that this is very beneficial, all right? The information that I'm revealing to you, and the reason why I'm choosing to reveal it to you is to show you that it's very possible if someone who was incarcerated learned this stuff with no internet access, and I learned this, and not only did I learn this, you have a community of traders and community of ex-convicts who learned this and who are making money from it now, then what excuse do you have? This industry would allow you to do this all from a phone at the comfort of your home, at the comfort of being with your family, all right? What other industry would allow you to make this much progress and be this comfortable? Okay, back to my story though. You know, we learned, we built, and it was a community of us. It was maybe 6 of us. You know what I mean? And that was just our circle. There was a whole compound full of traders, but our circle, it was just 6 of us, maybe. You know what I mean? So, but specifically, I would have never learned it or became interested if it wasn't for Corey. So that's my brother again, and he gonna be duplicating a lot of the stuff that I'm sharing with you. You know what I'm saying? Now I will say this. You know what I mean? I don't want to get touched too much on this particular project, but while I'm thinking about it, let me kind of say this. Now, although this is my brother and he taught me, I, took it off and ran with it when I got out. You know what I'm saying? So now we both have the information and we're both teachers. You understand? Let's just put it that way. You know what I'm saying? So our perspectives won't always be the same because there's no one way to trade. All right, it's like having the basketball skill, becoming a basketball player or football player, or having any type of skill. There's no one particular way to do this. So we got difference in perspective of certain things. You know what I'm saying? But there's one common denominator that will exist and has to exist. Do you know how to play ball? And we both know how to play ball. We both can score. Can you score? Can you make a touchdown? All right? That's the common denominator when it comes to traders and non-traders. Can you score consistently? And if you can do that, and you can teach it and verbalize it and articulate it the correct way, then by all means, I feel as though you're qualified to share this information. You know what I mean? And we both can do that. You know what I mean? So I said that to say, just because we have a difference in perspective about different aspects of trading, and we'll be teaching you differently about certain things, it never stays. It stays the same. You know what I mean? Like, for example, support and resistance. How to read support and resistance. It stays the same. So, he's going to echo a lot of the stuff I'm saying and vice versa. I'm going to definitely be echoing some of the stuff he's saying, but some of the stuff we're going to disagree on. You know what I'm saying? Based off of skill set and based off of the fact that this particular skill set allows a variety of perspectives. There's no right or wrong way to do this. You understand? But, again, can you score? Although there's no wrong or right way to do this, you have to be able to score. You know what I'm saying? Period. There's no right way to score, right? You got some people who gonna dunk the ball, some people who gonna shoot a three. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure the person who gonna dunk the ball and shoot the ball while he close is just gonna disagree with the person who thinks the 3-point jumper is the best. Me personally, I feel like, okay, it don't matter which skill set choice you choose, the best is the ball going in. You know what I'm saying? It's the ball going in. If I'm a guy who likes to shoot 3-pointers and then here's a guy who likes to dunk, you know what I mean? The ball is going in either time. So it don't matter really. You know what I'm saying? Especially for you as the beginner. You know what I'm saying? Now, over time, you're going to develop your own trading strategy. You know what I'm saying? So I recommend you use what I'm teaching you and I'm sharing with you, and also what other YouTubers are talking about, because you want all perspectives, all right? A lot of this information is free. It's not even costing you anything but your time. And if you're not willing to invest your time, you know what I mean, then you already lost the battle and you just wasted your time watching this video because you don't want to be an entrepreneur at all. And I understand that logic, but this may not be for you if that's where you are. You know what I'm saying? But for those of you who with me, you understand. You know what I'm saying? But back to my story, because I want to kind of wrap this up. So, make a long story short, I end up learning how to trade. I end up learning about options as well. And about, I said forex. You know what I'm saying? So, I end up learning about options and about technical analysis in great detail. You know what I'm saying? Great detail, all right? And this went on from my initial learning started in the summer of 2011, all right? And I was transferred from Jessup August 2014. So that's 4 years, you know what I'm saying, of me diligently doing this, like, so serious. Like, when I get off, this what I do. I head to the library, me and Corey, my other partners, you know what I mean? You got Miles, Wheezy. We head to the library, you know what I'm saying? And we added. I'm talking about we studying, we drawing charts up, and I'm going to show you guys some of my old charts. But we physically drawing charts using markers. I invested so much money buying charts, buying markers, buying paper, getting people to print information up. So much. It's so much that we went through to get here. It's so much that I went through to get here, even before I came home, and even before I was released, which I've been home now 7 whole years. So, and I progressed and flourished throughout those 7. You know what I'm saying? But I had a head start because I already been trading for maybe 5 years, 6 years before I even was released from prison. You know what I'm saying? So imagine where I'm at now. You understand? So, but to wrap it up, after I was transferred from Jessup, I was transferred to Bennettsville, South Carolina, where eventually I would go to start teaching classes. And this is where I started teaching. And I started that until literally like the week before I left. You know what I'm saying? For about 18 months. You know what I mean? Down there the whole time I was on that compound. I was the main teacher. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And if I can teach a compound full of 1,500 inmates, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure I can do the same to the general public. You know what I'm saying? This is my purpose. You understand? This is our purpose. You know what I mean? And this may be your purpose. You know what I'm saying? Once you see the potential, once you see that it's not as hard as you think, once you take the time and the discipline it takes, you know what I'm saying? Once you reestablish your focus, if it's lost, you know what I mean? If you're diligent and you really are adamant about achieving generational wealth, keyword, generational wealth, all right? You will decide that enough is enough, you know? And another reason for me doing this video is to kind of differentiate us from some of them, all right? And by some of them, I mean others teaching financial literacy, specifically others teaching about trading, all right? Be very wary when it comes to other individuals teaching you about trading, all right? I don't care if it's me. You with me? Now, the difference between me and others is I have real life credentials. And if you guys are a member of any of my Facebook groups, you would see and know that I have real credentials. I have real certificates that I was awarded by the by the Bureau of Prisons for teaching inmates this information. And if you think it's just that easy to get a certificate for teaching inmates, then why doesn't every person who's been in prison have these credentials? It's not easy. So I don't for a second want you guys to think that just because I learned this information while I was incarcerated, that this was something that was easy to learn, or that this somehow diminishes my capabilities. Because again, the staff there wouldn't allow just anyone to teach these guys how to do this if they felt he didn't know what he was talking about, all right? Period. Because you got to keep in mind, these are a bunch of inmates. They know that these inmates are about to re-enter society, so they want these inmates to get the most productive information as possible. You understand? They want the best for these inmates, so they gonna vet this information, all right? So this, along with other factors, should help you understand who I am as far as this trading industry. And this is one of my credentials. You know what I'm saying? That I taught classes, that I was authorized to teach classes, and I was paid for this. Now I wasn't paid much, you know what I mean? Maybe $10 a month, but hey, damn, I'm in jail, you know what I'm saying? But even if I wasn't in jail, it's just the point. You understand that I was paid to do this. You understand? You think they're gonna pay just anybody? You know? So I'm just simply saying, and I have credentials and certificates and partnerships with some of these prop firms or these proprietary prop firms that I'm telling you guys about. I have partnerships with them and credentials and certificates with them that you guys can check out on my page as well. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the certificates that I received when I was incarcerated is kind of dated. This was maybe in 2015, 16, but the information and the credentials that I have as far as with these prop firms, that's very recent, as of 2023. So that I wanted to point that out to show you that, hey, you know, this is very viable information, and I'm a very reliable individual when it comes to being able to distribute this information. You know what I mean? Now, I can't say the same for everyone, because some people on the internet is just exploiting you guys. You know what I'm saying? Period. Like, some of these people are selling you third-party information. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So many people are scamming in every different industry. You know what I'm saying? So naturally, forex trading in general is the biggest industry. So quite naturally, there are going to be a bunch of scammers. Now, when I say scammers, it don't necessarily mean that someone has to steal your credit card information or anything of that nature. No. Now you have what is called the scammers, but they hide in plain sight. They're what some of you guys have as mentors and stuff. You know what I'm saying? They sell you dreams, basically. Sell you a lifestyle. Tell you how much money they're making. Show you fake accounts. Go rent a Lambo. You know what I mean? And drive it. And, you know what I'm saying? Go rent an Airbnb and tell you that's their house. You know what I'm saying? This is how you open yourself up for a scam if you follow the lifestyle when it comes to trading. You know what I'm saying? If you're joining a mentorship and program just because of someone's lifestyle, then you're opening yourself up for a scam. All right? Period. You know what I'm saying? Because if they making that much money, why the hell they on the internet all day, every day? All right? Because trust and believe. When I rise and when I'm to a point where I'm a millionaire, I don't care what it's all for, trading or whatever. I'm not going to be, my physical presence is not going to be on the internet as much. All right? Period. Like, period. Because I'm going to have better things to do. You understand? So if they're all these millions and got all this stuff that they proclaiming to have, then why are they hard pressed on selling you the dream? Why are they diligently on the internet so much if they making this type of money in real life? You understand? Like, you know, don't get me wrong. You know, there is a monetary gain to be had while being on the internet. So let me make that disclaimer. I don't want to make it seem like there's anything wrong with making capital off the internet. But I'm saying I feel as though they're making more capital off you guys than they actually are in trading. You know what I mean? Then that becomes a problem. You know? And I don't want to say all, because you have some who are teaching you guys very valuable information. All right? Now, I know what you guys may be asking or saying to yourselves. Well, how do we spot these individuals? Simple. Those are the individuals with no credentials. You understand? Make them show you some certificates. You understand? Now, that's not to say that someone who doesn't have any credentials don't know what he or she is talking about. You know what I mean? But it's to say that the individual who has the credentials is the top tier level of that skill set. You know, excuse me. The individuals who has the credentials, you know, those are the most credible individuals. Let me just say that, all right? So, you know, and another thing, if they can't trade live, because I'm going to be trading live, not in addition to, you know, teaching you guys this, I'm going to be trading live. So, if you're not seeing them do this live, you could be scammed so easily, all right? Period, all right? And this is one of the main reasons why, you know, I reject when a lot of people ask me, Gay, how much money you made off trading? Because that's the first thing everybody want to know, all right? That's the $1 million question, all right? How much money you make? How much money you can make? You know what I'm saying? Okay, this is where you lose me, because the question shouldn't be how much money did you make. The question should be how much money can be made. All right? Two separate questions. All right? Because I could tell you anything. I could scam you just like the rest of them. I could go rent a Lambo tomorrow and tell you I made it, and tell you I bought this Lambo off trading. All right? I could show you a lot of fake accounts. All right? My whole point is, it don't matter what I show you. You won't really officially know if it's real unless I physically show you I could do it. All right? Period. So the question shouldn't be how much money have I made. You know what I mean? Because if you're looking for validation from me, or you're looking to validate my credibility through how much money you feel I make, then you already playing the wrong game, and your mindset won't allow you to digest this information. So this is not for you in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, it's just what it is. You understand? Like, this, I want to also be clear. You know what I mean? This ain't nothing you gonna get rich quick overnight either. You know what I'm saying? Now, you can get rich with this pretty fast. But, you know, this is nothing you could just snap your fingers and you going to become rich with. You understand? But be aware of these mentors, all right? And I know this was a long video, but a lot of this information was necessary because I have to share with you guys and help you understand the importance of what I'm giving you guys for little to nothing. Because for the amount of money I invested myself out of my own pockets throughout my trading history, which I've been in the trading industry over 12 years, 30,000 that came out of my pocket over the course of 12 years now, not at one particular time, but over the course of 12 years, I have invested 30,000 into learning this information, all right? So I had to learn it fully before I was able to fully get where I'm at now. You understand? So I want you to look at me as your opportunity to enter this industry, because I'm not really even charging you anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so the only thing that I ask is really, it's not a need. You understand? It's just going to be very essential to your journey. You know what I'm saying? But it's to get the book. You know what I mean? That's it. You know, because the book is going to break some of the stuff down that I'm not able to tackle, because I'm not going to be able to touch on every single aspect of trading in these videos. This is why you need the book, because the book has it all. The book has a glossary. The book has so much. You know what I mean? But, you know, we gonna save a little bit more of that for some more videos. But the whole point of this video, me wrapping it up now, is the explain to you guys how I learned this in prison, and hopefully that should motivate you and make you say to yourself, if this guy learned this while being incarcerated, I know damn well I can learn this. You understand? And hopefully you won't be as intimidated, because it can be intimidating. As I told you how I was intimidated in the initial beginning. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, if you push through it, you can get through it, you know? And that's with anything. So until next time, guys, peace.